Hello everybody and happy 2018. If you don't know already, my name is Justice Fist and I'm bringing you some more MudRunner gameplay video. I hope you all had a good holiday. I certainly did. It was a busy one. It's probably been about 2 weeks, I think, since I last posted a video, but everything's back to normal now, man. We're going to get right back into it with a mod map and some mod trucks. If you watch my videos, you're probably wondering what happened to High Water. The thing with High Water was just too many technical issues for me. I had to cut that walkthrough. So suffice to say, in 2018, I will be vigorously testing any mod maps and mod trucks before recording with them, so that I don't have to cut a series short 2 or 3 episodes in like I had to with High Water. Now, I'm not saying there's something wrong with the map. It may all be on my end. I don't know. But it just wasn't working for me. Now, also note on High Water, there is a new version out, High Water 2.0. You can find it on the website that I will link in the description. As well as this is where you'll find this map. Now, this map is called North Russia Another Way version 0.85, and the map author's name, I love it, is Tim Wingnut. So one thing to say about this map, there's no watch points, there's no trucks to unlock. This map is all business, baby, all business. So I'm gonna bring some truck mods, some pretty heavy hitters. You can see them in the bottom row here. Starting with the Huntsman. Now, if you know your stuff, you're familiar with the Huntsman. It's a beast, and it's only 1 star. Very versatile truck, only 1 star. It's kind of cheaty, but it's a lot of fun to play with, man. Very versatile truck, very powerful. And on a map like this, where it's all business, we're going to need some heavy-duty trucks like that. And the next one I'm going to bring in is the KRAZ right here, 6316. It's another 4-axle truck, obviously, as you can see. A great logging truck, great workhorse. Now, all my truck mods you can find on the Steam Workshop. So you're not going to find any links to these in the description. Any trucks that I bring in from elsewhere, certainly I will link in the description so that you can find them if you want to play with them too. Now, third truck in the lineup. I'm going to put a 255 in here, and only because I want to use it as a crane truck. Now, those of you in the know are saying, hey, Justice, the Huntsman has a crane. It does. It does. But the crane sticks up quite far from the roof of the truck, and the Huntsman is already huge. And you're going to see why, when we get into this, why that's not going to work. Because one of the logs kiosks the logs kiosk is surrounded by trees with low-hanging branches, and so it's really difficult to get the Huntsman in there with the crane. I suppose you could if you were going to back and forth and up and down and everything else, but I don't want to do that. I'm just going to save myself the headache of doing that. So here's our lineup. As you can see, we start right at the fuel station here, the garage here, all set up. Like I said, this map is all business, man. All business. No dinking around. So the first thing I'm going to do is play a little musical trucks here. I got to get the 255 out of the way so that I can move these bigger trucks around. Get everything set up the way that I want. So that's the first order of business. And I need a little bit of volume here. So, yeah, I'm still having some controller issues. If it happens while I'm recording, I'm going to edit the video in such a way that you won't hardly even notice. I still haven't got to the bottom of that. But it doesn't happen too often. So it shouldn't be a big deal. Yeah, okay, we'll leave this guy here. Now, yeah, okay. Can I change truck from here? Oh, you bugger. You bugger. Okay. So now both of these trucks, now they can haul quite a bit of stuff, but I'm going to get them set up for medium logs because they don't, set up like that, they don't need a trailer. And again, you're going to see why you don't want to have a trailer on this map when we get to the logs kiosk. Things are tight in there, man, so... yeah, I'm going to spare myself the troubles with that, which is unfortunate because I'm not going to be able to show you just what these things can haul, but, just trust me on this one. It's better this way. I might put some of this stuff on, but what I need is the medium logs, 4 points. Yeah, I think that's the medium log carriage there, isn't it? I thought it was a forked one like the... Okay, wait a second. Medium logs, okay. I guess more than one way to do it. Yeah, that's the one that I was looking for. Okay. Now, I'm gonna put a little extra fuel on this. That holds 300 liters. This will hold 50 liters as well. Why not? But really, the Huntsman is going to kind of double up as a. Why would I put that? I don't know. As a fuel truck because, well, it can do that. Okay, so there we go. That's how I want this vehicle set up. So I'm just going to move him out of the way. Actually, go put some fuel in it and fuel up his add-ons as well. Fill her up, boys. Excellent. Okay. I'm gonna have to move it out of the way. So now, usually, you know, I would get the 255 over the logs kiosk first, right? Because you want to get your crane truck in position. But just for the hell of it, because I haven't brought any truck mods to my channel at all. We're gonna run the Huntsman over and get it parked near the kiosk just for fun, just kick things off a little differently, and then I'll bring the 255 over, get it positioned the way we need it, and all of that. So okay, I didn't really need to do that, but anyway, okay, the Huntsman. We'll get this guy set up. You notice this is not an 8x8. There's no all-wheel drive on this thing, but it's okay. It doesn't really need it. Just gonna throw that out there. Okay, so first thing I want to do, where is... Yes, this is why this thing can double as a fuel truck. 3,000 liters in this thing, and it doesn't really affect any of the other add-ons that you can get, which is awesome. So let's see here. Now, there's the crane. Look at how high that is. See, this is problematic considering where we're going. You'll see why. Anyway, medium log. Yeah, that's the one. Okay, I think that's all I really needed. 500 repair points. Repair points might be handy to have. Don't really need the extra fuel, but what the hell? We'll go with that anyway. What is this? I don't know, required for something I don't need. And that's the crane. We just make sure there's nothing else I want to bring here. I think those are trailers. Well, I could have brought that instead of this. Right? I don't feel like I'm going to need a ton of repair points here. Yeah, that ought to do it. Okay, so let's get this thing fueled up. And before I do that, I need a sip of beer, man. Jeez. Okay. So fill that up. Beauty. Okay. So let's take the Huntsman for a spin. Get it over near the logs kiosks here. So they are up here, and I'll show these here when we bring the 255 up. This is one I'm going to use because this one here is just really tight, really tight. Yeah, you'll see when we get there. Anyway, so we're pretty much just going straight up the trail here. And then we have some water to play in, rinse the truck off a little bit, and we'll probably park the Huntsman right here for now. Yeah, that's the plan. Sip of beer. Yeah, what a beast. Yeah, so this map, so as I was saying, any maps or truck mods that you're going to see moving forward on my channel, as I said, I'm going to test them vigorously, make sure they are 100% stable. This map is so stable that I've actually been using it to test other truck mods, because I know for a fact, this map is perfectly stable. With some other mod maps, it seems that the size of the map and the complexity of the terrain can be hard on the game engine, it seems like. Because with other maps, much like High Water, I have in other mod maps I've had the same problems that I've had with High Water, where you get into certain sections of the map and there's so much going on that it's like the game engine starts to choke a bit. You get massive frame rate drops, and then my peripherals cut out, my controller and stuff, which is not anything new. My controller cuts out on its own, but this thing like makes it worse. It was happening like every 10 minutes of gameplay, you know, where it might happen once in an hour of gameplay, if at all, on other maps that aren't as big and complex. So I've been testing a lot of maps, many that work and many that have the same problems that High Water have. So something to be said for all of that. What that is exactly, I'm not sure, because I'm not a map author. So I don't know. And same with truck mods, man. Some are just, I don't know, sketchy. They don't always work properly, and they can crash the game, and I don't know. And again, I don't know anything about it, you know. All I know is what works and what doesn't so far. So that's that. So anything I'm using on my channel, you can be sure it's 100% stable, because I have stability issues just playing normally, right? So if I can run it, you can run it. Let's put it that way. And as far as game engine crashes and frame rate drops, don't mistake that for poor performance as far as my gaming rig goes, also, because I am running a very powerful Alienware machine. I'll spare you the specs. Suffice to say, it's powerful. I never have to look at the recommended or minimum specs for anything anymore. That's a thing of the past since I bought this machine, let's put it that way. So it's not issues with that, is what I'm trying to say. So, giving the Huntsman a little dunk here, rinse it off a bit. Water gets kind of deep in spots here, but in this section anyway, if you stay to the right near this birch tree here, it's not too bad. Yeah, so yeah, I like this map, you know, and I'm all about trucking in MudRunner, right? A lot of people play MudRunner just to do off-road driving, and there's maps out there tailored specifically for that, you know, where there are no logs, kiosks, or lumber mills. It's just for those who like to off-road and multiplayer and stuff like that. That's not for me, man. I like the big rigs, the big mudding rigs, you know, and I want to work the objectives and stuff like that, and that's why I really like this map, because that's what it's all about, man. So, yeah. I have more maps similar to this to show you, but you know, one at a time. Don't get ahead of yourself, Justice. Yeah. Anyway, here we are. As you can see, we're getting close to the kiosk here. We got piles of timber everywhere. I'm just gonna park the Huntsman up here, and then we'll get our crane truck over here and set up, ready to start loading. Yeah, we'll just park this guy right here. As good a spot as any. Alright, the trusty old 255. Let's get him up there. And this will be a good comparison. You saw how the Huntsman handled that terrain. And we'll compare it to a vanilla truck, the 255. Yeah, that's what we're going to do, okay? Okay. The KRAZ is kind of in my way, but I think I can manage here. I just need to put a crane on this thing. It's full of fuel, so that's good. Log crane with carriage. Yeah, you see how nice and in line this is with the roof of the truck? Nice and compact. And that's what we need. Something is blocking. Am I too close? Okay. I'm going to have to move the KRAZ, I guess. Hold on a second. Get out of the way there, big guy. I always seem to be just out of range for the... Oh, hey! Very nice. Okay. Let's move this over a bit here. Right, that ought to do it, right? Rain with carriage. Install. Beautiful. Okay. I don't think I need to set any waypoints. It's pretty much just straight through. But I can get lost in my own backyard, so we'll see how this goes. Yeah, it feels good to be back, man. It's been a while since I recorded anything. I had a couple of episodes recorded on high water that I was going to schedule to post over the holidays while I was gone, but you know, it's so full of technical difficulties. I thought I'm just not going to bother because even though they were already recorded and edited, I mean, it's certainly not going to continue considering all the problems I had on high water. So I thought, you know what, why even bother? You know. So many of you probably might have thought I'd fallen off the face of the earth, and there were a couple nights there over the holidays where I felt like I might, but that was definitely due to too much Christmas liquor, you know. But anyway, where am I going with this? I'm happy to be back. Feels good to be recording again, bringing some more MudRunner, and yeah, that was the whole point of that. Ah, the mud here is deep. You see, it didn't seem that deep in the Huntsman, but you know. The Huntsman has been around for a while. I believe it was available for the original spin tires, wasn't it? Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think I remember seeing it. I think that it's been converted to work with MudRunner. It's been around a while. It's not a new mod, that's for sure. It is for me. I never ran spin tires with truck mods, and well, this is the first episode on my channel that has truck mods in it. So there you go. This water too, you see it. Huntsman made it look easy, but it's not. Yeah, so for 2018, I think everything's going to be pretty much the same as usual. I'm going to try to clean things up a little bit, like I said. But, you know, I don't know. Still debating buying a new microphone too. I know that the sound quality is the only thing that's really not quite there with my videos, on account of that I use a rather inexpensive microphone, but and I'm still having a hard time justifying the cost of the microphone versus the money generated by my channel, which is zero. So I'm still on the fence about that one. But anyway, we'll see what happens. We'll see. Also thinking about bringing some live streaming. I did a bit of live streaming in the past. Right now I'm not allowed to live stream on YouTube. Got a slap on the wrist for something that actually wasn't even really what YouTube thought it was. Anyway. But you know, there's always Twitch. There's other places to do that. Okay, so MudRunner. So this is one of the kiosks here. Look at how tight this is. And if you're using a 2-truck system like I am, I'm not sure that you'll get 2 trucks here side by side. I mean, this is kind of tight. It's kind of tight, man. So we're gonna use the kiosk that's back here, and now you're gonna see what I mean about lots of trees and low-hanging branches and stuff. Getting into here is a little bit tricky, especially with those large vehicles. And if I had put a crane on the Huntsman, I mean, look, we're going straight ahead. Look at what we're gonna be dealing with up here. Yeah, tricky. So, yeah. That's not. I always forget the path through here. There's a way to do it. 'Cause you have to get you have to get my big trucks back here. You know. Let's see here. What are we doing, Justice? Okay, so you can squeeze through like this with the 255, but you can't with those bigger trucks. There's another path through there. You just gotta find it. Okay, here we are. So lots of room here at least. To use a 2-truck system like this. So. Let's get the crane truck set up here. How close do I want to get to this thing? That is too close. Need room for my anchors here. Yeah, I think that's pretty good. And then, yeah, something like that I think should work. So, let's push those anchors. Yeah. Perfect. Sip of beer. All right. Let's get the KRAZ 6316 up there and start loading logs, man. Now, yeah, okay. Let's do this thing then. Yeah, so this truck, very nice mod too, and you know, it's not 1 star, it's 3 or 4, and it's modeled pretty nice. I mean, it's not super OP, I guess is the way to say it. It's, you know, it's believable, I guess. It's not like over the top, like, yeah, okay, you know. Especially considering it is a true 8x8, unlike the Huntsman. While the Huntsman is a 4-axle, it is not 8-wheel drive. This one is. And yet not super powerful, man. You can get it stuck, as you can see. It's not just shredding terrain here. I'm in first gear in the mud and water here, so, you know, it's believable. It's not overdone, you know. Again, very stable. Good mod. It has the Justice Fist stamp of approval. Try a diff lock here, yeah. Okay, high is not doing anything for us. We'll go back to low here. One thing I am seeing on this map, though, like up ahead, you'll see it every now and again, sort of the texture popping, like the mud popping into existence, sort of thing. But that's a thing I've noticed on a lot of mod maps. I think it just is what it is. It's not, you know, anything else. It is what it is. It's not anything else. Take what you want from that, man. Yeah, so this map is not a terribly new map. I believe it came out on the 18th or 19th of December. So I downloaded it right before I left for the holidays. But as I said, a real stable map, and it's a great map for those of you who like to play the way that I do, which is sort of with the big rigs and working the objectives, you know. And like I said, it's so stable, I found it to be a great map to test new truck mods on and stuff too. Make sure that they're stable, because when you know that the map is 100% stable, then you know, it's great for testing trucks. And if you're going to test work trucks like this, then this map is a great map to do it on. Certainly not breaking any speed records here, but you know, like I said before, it's not a race. It's not a race, man. Now you'll notice every time I come around this corner here, I stick to the left in the opening in the water up here, because to your right is quite a deep hole, and I think there's like a log down or a tree down in it, and so it slows you right down. That if you don't get caught on it, so that's why I keep going sort of to the left in the weeds here when I come around that corner. Okay, now we got to work this thing into that logs kiosk. And so now you understand why I didn't want to pull a trailer or multiple trailers. It's difficult enough to get into that kiosk. I don't want to be dealing with a trailer or two or three. Certainly these trucks can do stuff like that, but yeah, no thanks, man. We're keeping it simple today, man. Okay, so now there's a way in just past these logs here, but what that is I do not recall, so we're gonna kind of wing it. I don't think it's this. I think if you come in here, then you get a clear view of how to come through this section here. Because, well, you saw how I struggled with the 255 getting through there, so, you know. Yeah. Certainly come in between these trees here. Now. How was it that I got through here last time? I do not remember. Felt like there was something about staying to the left. Wait a second, let me try this here. Wait a second. Oh, this is what you don't want to happen. You don't want to get yourself all hung up in here, man. Okay, hold on. We're just back out here. I feel like... Oh, if I go like this to the right here a bit. There we go. That's it. Justice? Yeah, he did. Okay. Here we go then. Yeah, it's still kind of tight in here, man. Like I said, you wouldn't want to do this with a trailer. Don't do that to yourself, man. Well, maybe you do want to. I don't know. You might be crazy like that. I don't know. I don't know you. Yeah, that looks good to me, man. We'll park it right there. Have a sip of beer. Okay. Wrong bouton. Right, some mediums here. Didn't nail it there, Justice. That's the first time that's ever happened to me, where it didn't grab both. That was a thing that used to happen all the time in the original spin tires. If you you didn't have a proper, like, see the way I'm holding them now? That wouldn't fly, man. One would definitely fall out of there. You had to have a good grip on them. Go, that's one truck loaded up. Right, maybe we'll just pull this out of here and then bring the Huntsman in, get him loaded up too while we're loading trucks. Let's load trucks, right? Now. Came through on the right here, didn't I? See, I forget already. I can see my tracks, thankfully. Yeah, this was the way. $120 damage. Yeah, okay. The hell was that, I wonder? Alright, let's get the Huntsman loaded up. While I'm doing that, I'm just going to pull up here and top off the fuel tanks in the KRAZ. Why not? There you go. Yeah, I need to go hard right here. Yeah, I can see the tracks there on the or hard left. Sorry. You know, your left and right there, Justice. Jesus. Yeah, I can see the tracks here. Yeah. Ooh. Don't know if the Huntsman can fit through here though. Yeah, he can. All right. Yep, that works for me, man. See the way I have these logs? That would not fly, man. No, sir. In the original spin tires, that is. we go. All right. Oh man, I hate using the controller for this stuff. I don't know why I keep trying to do it. It's just making me mad. There we go. Okay. Ready to do this thing. So, I think we'll bring the first load with the Huntsman, since we're already in it. And I think this is where the name of the map comes from, North Russia, one way. There's no way through here that I've found. I've tried when testing it. There literally is only one way to get from there to the lumber mills here. Which is, you know, obviously we're going to have to double back through this water and then go left, or oh, what's wrong with me today, right, or let's say west, down the trail. A bit of a tricky spot here, you'll see when we get there, but other than that it's relatively straightforward. You lose sight of the trail here, so I put markers like that so that I don't get lost, because I get lost real easy. And then yeah, we're there. That's it, man. Okay. I really have gotten into the habit too of switching my view from left to right quickly like that, using the D-pad left and right buttons. And the problem with that is that whenever you're hauling a trailer, you know, you can't switch left to right like that. When you press right on the D-pad, it brings up the trailer view. It drives me crazy. Drives me crazy. It was never an issue for me before because I didn't do a lot of that. I didn't switch the view left to right all the time. But playing on these difficult mod maps, you know, it's sort of a thing you have to do. So it's tripping me up all the time now when I am hauling a trailer. It drives me crazy. Drives me crazy. But what are you gonna do, right? Bit slower through the water this time around. You can tell we got a load on now. That's for sure. And I find too with the left and right views, like the view on the right side here, I feel like you see more of what's close in directly in front of the truck. You know what I mean? Where on the left side here, you're more behind the truck. You know? Right? You're more looking like, so like if there's an obstacle really close to you in front, you can't see it from here. You can often see it from this view, which I find weird. You think they would be perfectly like symmetrical, exactly the same, but it doesn't seem to be. Maybe it's just me. I don't know. But it's kind of handy though, because you know you can use the views accordingly. Okay, so this spot here is a little awkward. You got some weird rocks, and there's like a path that goes in between these here. But with these giant trucks that I brought to this map, they're like, see how this path winds sort of right and left through this. So I usually just do that, and then just to hell with it, power over this last part here. This is a bit of a weird spot here too. You got to squeeze between these. I was testing a truck on this, the URAL something or other. It's got giant wheels on it and stuff, and it barely fit. I think at one point I got it wedged in here and kind of stuck. It was kind of funny. Yeah, kind of like what's happening now. Yeah, you know, I've been thinking too. It's gonna be. I feel like it's gonna be kind of interesting to see now what happens with MudRunner, huh? In 2018, they've got a new version of it. Well, new version of Spin Tires, MudRunner, and you know, new software developers and stuff like that. Uh, I'm anxious. I'm curious to see where's it gonna go. What's gonna happen? I don't know. I just feel like the original Spin Tires had been abandoned for so long. You know, it had so much potential. You know what I mean? And I mean that's obvious in just the amount of mods and stuff available for it. I mean, when it had been abandoned by the software developer that developed it, it was kept alive by modders, basically. Well, not basically, it was. It was, you know? And so, I don't know, it'll be interesting to see what happens, man. I'm a huge fan. I love these games. You either love them or you hate them, right? But, yeah, obviously I love them. And it'll be interesting to see where they go with it. I think I've said this before, will there be such a thing as a MudRunner 2 or something, you know? I don't know. What kind of updates and official DLCs are we going to see, or are we going to see any? I don't know. So many questions, man. So many questions. Yeah. Right, here we are at the lumber mill. Very nice. First load delivered, baby. Whoa-bam. Alright, let's pull this out, just off out of the way a little bit, and we'll get the KRAZ up here, get his load delivered. Don't know if we'll make it in this, if that'll happen in this episode. We're creeping up to an hour now, but we'll get it started anyway. Even though I just drove it, I need my waypoints, man. I'm a lost puppy without them. Really. It's terrible. We'll just fill them in real quick here. There we go. Alright, sip a beer and we'll hit the road trail. Log trail, something. One second, I apologize here. Sorry about that. Carry on. One thing I've noticed now with the PC version of MudRunner is you can finally alt-tab out when you're in the middle of something and not lose your progress on the map. Boy, that's handy. I tell you, I was not impressed the first few times that happened to me. I had to check something quick and alt-tab out and boom, all your progress on the map gone. And if you're YouTubing this stuff like me, it's like, oh no, especially if you're a few episodes in. Not good. Not good. Now I suppose I could lock the differentials here and get a little more speed out of this, but also this thing doesn't carry a ton of fuel. Certainly not like the Huntsman, but the Huntsman's over the top as far as that goes. 2,200 liters in the regular tank. It's just crazy. So we'll just plug away at it here. In auto. It's all good. So you can see, you know, it's not, even though it's an 8x8, the Huntsman seems to be ripping this up much more easily than the KRAZ here is. Keeping in mind, of course, the Huntsman is much larger, much bigger wheels, much bigger tires, and that's good for keeping you from sinking, I guess, too much in the mud, especially with a load on, right? I mean, you know. That's cool though, because whoever made this mod, I should write their names down and just say, but I mean, as I said, they're on the Steam Workshop, so if you're interested, you can look them up there, you can find them there. But you know, keeping it somewhat realistic-ish, right? It's not over the top, ridiculously powerful, you know. If you know me, you know I like that. I like a good challenge in MudRunner. You know, why I was so disappointed that I had to let go of my series on high water. I was working hard on that. There was some really tough terrain in that one, man. And without any truck mods too, boy, that was a tough map. But is what it is. It doesn't make for good gameplay video when I gotta cut it every 10 minutes because of issues, you know. And it's too much work for me to edit all that out, man. Jeez. Come on. Look at this, even downhill we're only in second gear. Yeah. Now this section here, that tree that's down in the road ahead, I always pass it on the right, because on the left, it almost doesn't seem to make sense to pass it on the right because you have a bit of a more steep hill climb there, I guess. But on the left, the mud is so deep, it just doesn't. Pass it on the left at your own discretion, man. I don't know. I prefer to make the pass on the right here. Look at how deep that mud is on the left. Yeah. No thanks. Take you 5 minutes to drive through that. Burn a ton of fuel. So we're coming up now on the 1 hour time limit. I don't know if I'm going to keep pushing the objective. I don't know how close I am at this point. Should be relatively close, I think, though. Yeah, we'll just keep pushing it. What the hell? Let's just do it, man. Certainly we're not getting there quickly. Nope, that's not a thing we're doing. If I lock the differentials here, let's get this thing going. Yeah, see, you don't seem to get a hell of a lot more speed out of that. Yeah, it's not really making much difference. Other than burning a ton of fuel. Ooh, bottomed out on a rock there. Oh yeah. Oop. We're stuck on something. There we go. Hey, second gear. Wow. Third gear. Oh, look out, man. It's getting crazy in there. The driver's getting crazy, man. Third gear in the KRAZ. Didn't think there was such thing. Jesus, what a mess coming through here. Hold on, maybe if I lock the differentials here. See what I mean? You can get hung up trying to come through here. It's an interesting choice. Oh, I see. There's a. I guess if I had gone right on my way through, I could avoid that. I see what's going on here. I'm gonna say interesting choice by the map author, but I see what he's going for there. Tricky, tricky. Have to be careful coming down here too. This is a bit of a rollover risk here on the right side, as you can see. Stick left a bit. So yeah, a bit of a grind in the KRAZ. Hey, it's we're really just sort of poking along here. It's like, wow. No major issues, but Jesus, man. One thing I never watched was a video done by SD11. I saw it pop up a while back, and I believe this truck was in it. He was sort of doing a comparison, side-by-side comparison, as he does in many of his videos, of the 8x8 mods that you can get, and also the 8x8s that come vanilla with the game. I should really check that out and see how this stacks up, or just check it out myself, I suppose. But like, I wonder, for example, how the 535 or the 537 would handle this terrain compared to how the KRAZ is performing right now. Okay, there's a lumber mill, man. Perfect timing. We're right at about an hour right now. Beautiful. We will slowly get this load in, dropped off, call her an episode. Look at the fuel we burned too, keeping in mind that you know, we left the logs kiosk with a full tank. Thankfully the Huntsman's here with fuel for days, weeks even. Alright, here we are. Beautiful. Unload. Alright. Thanks for joining me, everybody. This is the first episode of 2018. I think it went really well, man. It was cool to bring mod maps and mod trucks. Yeah, awesome. So, thanks for joining me. And next episode, we will continue our work here. And certainly there will be more mod maps and mod trucks to come on my channel in 2018. Thank you very much. Take it easy, guys.